Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Mini Moon, Little Moon, Small Moon, Reenie here, and it's me, Diana. Now we didn't want to make a a free with film today, but we're gonna have to. So there's this setting on Google Android, which I most likely believe there's a setting on Apple iOS. It's known as Talkback. Now, Talkback means that it will talk to you and tell you what everything's doing. What they don't tell you about Talkback is that it will make it hard for you to do anything. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, "Yeah, well the Talkback tool is for the blind, for they can work WISESPEAKERs, either Android or iOS or whatever." True, but how are blind folks? They're going to be handicapped by Talkback, because all it does is it tells you, oh, you're going in, it handicaps you. It makes it where you can't start the Y speaker over, you can't shut it down, you can't go into anything, without it talking back to you. And then it takes a long time for it to do anything. And it just locks up the reckoner and makes it so hard to work. And how you get into this setting is mostly by mistake. So, the loudness settings on any Y speaker made by either Google or Apple or IO or LG or Samsoft or Motorola. They on the side, there's your loudness setting. Now, somehow by mistake, you will get into this setting by mistake. And good luck getting out of it, because it will take a long time to get out of it, Now, how is this setting, Talkback, going to be helpful to the blind? If they're like, oh, well, we'll talk to them and it'll tell them what the Y speaker's doing. Yeah, well, what if they want to do something? They double tap on something and all it says is Google, weather. And then it doesn't do what you want it to do. It just tells you shit. It just talks to you, but it doesn't do anything you want it to do. So that's going to be a handicap to the blind, and it's also going to be a handicap to the seeing as well. It's a badly thought out tool that someone at Google and Apple just really thought they wanted to truly do something really mean stunt. They're like, we gotta make this tool. It's called Talkback, and when you get into it, we're gonna make it where it's hard for you to get out of. And then Google goes, hey, I dare someone to see if they can get in and out of Talkback. Then Apple makes it, and Apple goes, yeah, we made one too, and we're daring folks to see if they can get into it and see if they can get out of it, which is sad. Well, that's what happened to us. You're right, Reenie. You're right, Sailor Mini Moon or Small Moon or Little Moon. That happened to us about two in the after day. We get into Talkback by mistake by going for the loudness. Yeah, that was our mistake for wanting to, to shift the loudness up. How are we supposed to know? How are we to know that by doing that, you go into this bullshit Talkback setting? And I know there's going to be someone out there who's going to say, oh, you just don't know how to work your Y speaker. It has nothing to do with not knowing how to work Google Android or Apple iOS. All right. This tool, when you get into it, it makes it hard to do anything. It makes you got to do 3 taps, putting 3 fingers down, yielding for a long time just to get into something that you could just get into with either 1 or 2 taps. You want to go into settings? You can't. It'll just say settings. You want to go to updates? You can't. It'll just say updates. You want to go into Google? You want to go into Chrome or Google? It'll just say you're going into Google. You're going into Chrome, but it won't put you in it. And once you do get out of this setting, no one knows how you get into it because they're not around when it happens. So there's your word against their word. And I just think it's a bad setting. Now, don't get me wrong. Making a tool that can help the blind work a WISESPEAKER of any kind is a good thing. But when that tool handicaps the WISESPEAKER where blind folks can't work it and sight folks can't work it, that is truly bad. You know, that would be like making a farseer that has closed, that has, shut word, showing words so the deaf or the hard of hearing folks can read and see and hear what's going on. They can read it and know what's, and understand, see what's going on. And sadly, it would be like going into that and it goes, oh, well, now you can't go to any other fairway. You can't shift the farseer off. You can't start it over. You can't update it. Can't do nothing. So that would be like that. So it's a bad setting. I don't like it. And at the end of the day, I don't know how I got into it the first time. I don't know how we got into it the 2-width time. And I hope there's not a 3-width time. Because that is truly, truly bad. And we didn't want to have to talk about this bullshit setting again. But it looks like we might have to talk about it again. Well, it's all right, Diana. Hopefully, we never ever have to go into Talkback ever again. Is there a way to get Talkback off of Google Android or Apple iOS? I hope there is, because if there is, I'll go through and take that tool off. And if it is a tool that's already on there, well, it can be taken off. And if I do take Talkback off of Google Android, is that going to upset the Apple lane and all the other tools and settings start fucking up, All right, give this film a like, share it and playlist it, and we'll see you later.